and we are on a journey to raise $1 million to support young couples that are going through this, and they have no, how do I call it, they have no funds. So I'm gonna take it upon myself to fund such project and all of that, because listen.
Miss Trudy, I know exactly how you feel and what you're going through. I had about 7 or 8 miscarriages. I had virtually given up. And out of the blue, I got the 9th pregnancy, and this little white doctor was my lifesaver. She identified what the problem was and she went to work. I was on bed rest the entire time. I was admitted at that 3 weeks because I was leaking amniotic fluid. They took me to that 4 week to the day. My son was 4.5 pounds. He was in NICU for 5 days. He's a giant now and my only child. With God, all things are possible. Another one says, I am glad I read your post. Had miscarriages August 2024, then birth at 8.6 pounds son on 3rd this year, January 2026. He died on the 5th, sorry about that, from meconium aspiration. I am 43, no child, I am so devastated. Reading your post made me not want to give up. May God give you peace. And I pray that things are going to work out for you. Another one says, my friend who is also African had the same clotting problem. She has 3 kids now. Lost a lot of beta cells. Hope you found the solution. I went through this with my last. I was on bed rest from 4 months on. I was hooked to a machine. I had to give myself those shots as well. Not fun. And was able to have an amazing home birth. Best of luck. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. How was your day? How is your night taking you? Now, today is a very nice day. It's the 3rd of February 2026, and I'm delighted to be back here to talk to you. So, yesterday, Miss Trudy actually uploaded a video where she took us through a journey of where she just uploaded a video and took us through a journey from Ghana to United States of America, where she went to deliver her baby. She also explained the reason as to why she had to deliver that baby in the United States of America as opposed to Ghana or Kenya. Now, I have gone through that video through the comment section, and one of the things that's really, really amazing me is the fact that that video has a lot of relevance, especially to women who had gone through the same series or who are going through the same unfortunate circumstances with their pregnancy. Unfortunately, there are also other very negative comments because there are people who never watched that video from the beginning. Some people think that she went there because she needed a passport for her baby. Unfortunately, we do have such people in this part of the world. Now, what I want us to discuss though is, what was the relevance, what was the importance of having that video uploaded by Miss Trudy? What is the relevance of that video? And that's what I want us to focus on in this video. Now think about it. Some things are so personal, she has her private life, she has her public life. Now, when you see somebody come on public and tell us about her journey, her pregnancy journey, 6 miscarriages, and then decides the doctor has told her to fly to the United States of America because that's the only place she can get help. And mark you, the doctor that recommended that probably told her the exact clinic or hospital she can get that help. So when somebody is willing to take everything it costs so that she can have that baby, you can tell she was desperate enough to have that baby. Now, what I want us to discuss is, what is the relevance of that video? Was it important for her to give us her private story about her journey? Was it important for her to tell us and to give us details? You guys, if you watch that video, you would see where she was taking shots, and she has to take those shots every day with the blood thinners because her blood used to clot, so she had to take daily shots on her legs, and you would even see the spots on her legs. Well, I believe she's going to recover from that as well. The good news is that we already know that the baby is here, the baby is in Ghana. She delivered. We don't know the gender. And I'm not the kind of a person who wants to speculate. I've heard other people saying that it's a baby girl, but I do not know. I cannot give information that I have no idea. My focus on this video is, why is it important? Was it important for her to upload that video? What relevance does it have to other women who are either going through the same thing, who may have gone through the same thing? And if you check at the comment section, you find out that there are so many women who are either going through the same thing or who may have gone through the same thing. And I'll post some of the comments here, because it's important that this lady has not only exposed and being vulnerable with her situation, but she has used her case as a case study. That sometimes when you have a YouTube channel, it's not just about views and content for entertainment and trying to show the other side of Africa that we all want to see. Sometimes some things happens in your life for redirection. Because out of those 6 miscarriages, Wode Maya, and I have linked that video at the beginning of this commentary. Wode Maya confessed that he is going to raise $1 million to help women who are doing the same thing, because Wode Maya recognizes, hey, this thing is very expensive. It's really, really expensive. I mean, because somebody like Wode Maya would obviously not go to a regular clinic. He was obviously going to their A-list for those, clinic visits. He had to go to the A-list medical care centers, and they are very expensive because you're dealing with guys who have taken a lot of time to understand and perfect and hone their skills when it comes to prenatal care. Is it prenatal care or neonatal care? I don't know the difference. You're gonna have to go and check on that. But Wode Maya definitely was paying a premium for his wife. So you can honestly, you can tell they have used probably more than $300,000 for that child. And I pray that God is going to help that child grow up very healthy, diligent, wise, and respectful. But the most important thing is, what are the lessons here? And one of the biggest lessons I'm learning from this is, by Miss Trudy exposing herself or being vulnerable and telling it out, she's really helping other women. She's going to drive a new wave. She's bringing in a new topic that people have not been talking about. Remember, she's a very big person on the YouTube space. She has decided, I'm going to use my influence for the benefit of other women, for the benefit of other couples. Because see, when you're talking about pregnancy, it's not necessarily about the woman alone, as much as 90% is about that woman. Or even let me just say 100% is about the woman who is carrying that child. So it's not necessarily though just about the woman, but it's about the woman who is carrying that child and the father of the child. It's also about marriage. One thing I know for sure is, here in Africa, if a woman does not give birth to a child, out of tried pregnancies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, highest chance is that she's going to be rejected by the society, she's going to be divorced, she's going to be looked down upon, and even biblically, remember the story of Hannah and Samuel. That woman was looked down upon because she did not have a child. All she wanted was a child. And there are so many incidences in the scripture where all these women, all they needed to have is a child. So you can imagine how it has been for so many women here in Africa, and maybe globally or in different parts of the world. So Miss Trudy coming out and exposing and being vulnerable about herself is very, very relevant. Not just to the viewers, but to a lot of couples and a lot of women. Remember, Wode Maya, if you check at the clip I've attached at the beginning of this video, Wode Maya said he was doing an interview. And by the way, some of these interviews and some of the things, small things people say, people miss out. They don't even get to watch them because that interview was done on SPM Sport. There's a segment, there's a YouTube channel called SPM Bars based here in Kenya, but it has a segment by the name SPM Sports. So that guy had traveled to Morocco because Wode Maya had also gone to Morocco to watch the African Cup of Nations that just started a few days ago. So he decided, let me just interview Wode Maya. And that interview, as much as if you go and check that interview, it doesn't have a lot of views. But Wode Maya said something that made a lot of sense. That he's willing to raise $1 million to help couples who may be going through the same thing. And that's good news, as much as people did not watch that part of it. So that's another thing that we need to learn. There's a relevance, there's a very huge relevance in that video in the sense that out of the experience what Maya has undergone, he has decided, hey, at least me, I have the money, I had the money, and I would have done this. What about other couples that are really, really willing to have kids, but they can't? Because this process requires a lot of money, and yes, it does really require a lot of money. What about those couples? How can I use my influence to make sure that at least there's something that is done? And that's the relevance I'm talking about. What about other women who've come out and spoken, hey, because you see, when you undergo some difficult and daunting moment in life, most of the times, because we don't look for help outside, because even if you try to look for help outside, you don't necessarily get it. What people end up doing is they confine themselves in a shell. And you see, when you confine yourself in a shell, it becomes lonely, and that's when you start going psycho. Because I can guarantee you, perhaps, well, I believe rather, let me not guarantee you, let me just say I believe 99% of women who have undergone a miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at a certain point of their lives, they got depressed. Remember what Miss Trudy said in her previous video? She felt like a guinea pig. She felt like an experiment. Because what happens is you go to one hospital, you're given this medication, you're given this treatment, and you adhere to this treatment believing that that condition is going to be dealt with once and for all. So unfortunately, what ends up happening is it doesn't work. So you feel you have already invested a lot of money to seek treatment, and then it fails to work. How do you think you would feel? It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel good. But now, with Miss Trudy coming and opening up about her situation, it gives hope, because I know for sure there are so many women out there, there are so many couples out there also who have money, but they don't know which medical care centers, they don't know the medical care centers they can visit so that they can get the help that Miss Trudy has gotten. I know there must be couples that must be trying to contact Miss Trudy and Wode Maya to get the contacts of those doctors, so that at least they can get the kind of help she's gotten. Because all they want is to have a kid at the end of the day. And that's the relevance of that video. Sometimes when you're watching content, you have to watch that content with a third eye, which means you have to watch that content to not only be entertained, but also to learn something. And that video was all about that. It was all about repurposing and giving hope to women who've already given up, to women who may have been even divorced because they can have kids. And that's the reality in Africa, and not just Africa, but in most places. Listen, think about the stigmatization that comes with miscarriages, that comes with being, I don't want to use the word barren. Think about the stigma that comes with inability to conceive. Sometimes you look at yourself in a society and you just, all you want is to go. You don't find any relevance. And perhaps it's very important to even encourage a husband, a woman there, that sometimes these things happen. Your purpose should not be limited to having a kid, because as much as Miss Trudy has come out and opened up about her situation, it does not necessarily mean that there's someone who's going to conceive. And speaking of that, by the way, I'll be giving, and I might even research for other instances and cases of women who've been trying to have kids and they haven't. And this is very, very important, by the way. For those people who are in Kenya, they know a lady by the name, they know a couple by the name Wapenda Mziki, Wapendwa Mziki. I believe they also had some almost similar challenges, but by God's grace, God gave them a child. And those are very important cases. That's why I'm saying it's very, very important as content creators. Sometimes you have to think about the relevance and the importance of the kind of content you're giving people. What will it do? Does it have significance to your viewers, and especially to the targeted group? Because that message was not just content. It was not just content. It was a message of hope, resilience, courage, God's timing, struggle, overcoming struggle. That was a very, very deep message, because again, if you look at it from a very different angle, there's someone who is not struggling with pregnancy. There's someone who is struggling with other health issues. So how are they handling those health issues? Should they give up or should they continue fighting? And watching Miss Trudy, a very influential person on the space, coming out and speaking about it, gives a kind of give them hope. There's someone who's looking at themselves and they're like, oh man, we are so poor. Then you look at Miss Trudy and Wode Maya. These people are privileged. When financially they are privileged. Connection-wise, they are privileged. Wode Maya has a diplomatic passport. This is a guy who had to call the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Who actually not a call. He texted the Minister of Foreign Affairs so that Aisha Speed can be issued with a passport, with a Ghanaian passport. So this is a guy who has influence. They have everything else working out for them. The only thing they needed was a kid. And it was not easy, it was a struggle. So what does that mean to the viewer? The viewer has to take that information, decode it, and understand it. So that moving forward, a lot of people, I believe and I know for sure, they felt encouraged watching that video. Unlike, other YouTube channels, I don't want to talk about them here. It's not that important. At the end of the day, I do not want to steal the moment for Miss Trudy and Wode Maya to have their time. And I am glad, really, really glad that people really came up. People really came through, because you watch at that video, I believe right now it's doing about 300k views. Within probably 30 hours, it has already done 300,000 views. 2 videos over 300 views after a long time having not uploaded any video. It's also a good thing to also witness God's grace in real time, IRL. Because how else do you describe that? And I feel bad because some people were commenting negatively about uh, her delivering the baby in the United States of America without even understanding, without even watching the video she did previously. And she explained herself that the reason as to why she had to do that was because the doctor from Ghana recommended that. It was simple as that. You cannot afford to be ignorant in 2026. It's really going to cost you a lot. So moving forward, uh, let's let's keep promoting, supporting people like Wode Maya, people like Miss Trudy, who have a very positive purpose for the black people, for Africans, uh, for people with my, for people who look like this, and we hope for the best for the couple. We also hope for the best for any woman who is undergoing through the same thing, and content creators like me who are trying all their best to make sure that they give positive vibes about African content creators who are trying all their best to promote this beautiful content outside there. Otherwise, I'm really wishing you a lovely, lovely day. Today is on that February 2026. Days are really rushing. Days are really, really rushing. Other than that, guys, see you in the next one. Uh, I'm really looking forward towards uploading at least 2 videos or 3 videos today. So I really have to do a lot of research. And by the way, talking about research, I was anyway. Let's not talk about it right now. So have a good one. See you in the next one, and subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment below there, and especially if you like the kind of content I'm making, if you like the kind of direction that I've taken, let's keep it positive here. Have a good day.